We are discussing the C++ constructors. What are constructors in C++? The constructors, as the name suggests, is a member function. It's a special member function. The name of the constructor is exactly the same name as class name. And if you want, or in order to initialize the data members of the class, this constructor is employed. And this is invoked automatically. That is, whenever you create an object of the class, this constructor is going to invoke automatically. You don't have to do anything. So there is a default function which is at your discretion, given by C++. Constructor do not return any value, not even void. And always remember, constructor should be in the public section. So we have various types of constructor. First is the default constructor. So we have no arguments or the parameter inside this. A default constructor will accept no parameter, and when no constructor is defined in the class, the compiler will provide its default constructor as we just said. Then we have overloaded constructor or argument constructor or parameterized constructor. So this parameterized constructor, it will accept parameters, and this is used to assign these parameters to the data member of the class. Okay. You can have various parameterized constructors. There may be various or many definitions for parameterized constructor. It just depends upon the type and the number. So the type and number decide what the different parameters to the constructor, and that is why, because various number of types and parameters can be there, this is called as overloaded constructor. Then we have copy constructor. You have made a constructor now with, we have initialized something. Now you want to initialize this with, say this is an object. You already initialized it. Now the initialization you want just to copy to another object. For that you use copy constructor. So the copy constructor will accept a reference, that is reference of this, to an instance of its own class as the argument, and this is called as copy constructor. So the constructor that is accepting a reference to an instance of its own class, that is, it is accepting the object of its own class as an argument inside it, this is called as a copy constructor. So the copy constructor is employed or used to create new object with the similar values. Means you are creating a new object, so object 2 with object 1. So object 2 will have all the existing value or similar value as the object 1. So a copy constructor is used to create new object with the exact similar value of the existing object. And copy constructor is invoked when one object is defined and initialized with another object of the same class. So what is the syntax of copy constructor? We have a class name here. We again have a class name here, and then we have an object. So this is a class name, object. So this is what we are saying, that this constructor accept the instance or reference of instance of the same class. So this is a class, this again is a class, and this is the reference of the instance of that class, that is an object. So these are different type of constructor. See, this is just a default constructor. This is the name of the class. This is a class with student name, certain data member. And in the public section we have student. The name is exactly same as the class. This is a default constructor. We are not giving anything. There is no return type, and we are initializing it to 0, 0.0. So we don't have to do it. If you want to do it, it's okay. But the C++ is going to do it for you. So this is say student. Then you have a display function to display these two. In this main, what you have to do, if you want to call this function, you just have to make an object. The student S, this is an object being made, and this object will already have, after this statement, it will already have roll number as 0 and percentage as 0.0. Parameterized constructor, you have the name as same as the class. Inside this you have the parameter. Now you can give this value to the roll number and this value to the percentage. This is what you can give. And how to call the parameterized constructor? You have to say the class name, then the object, and inside this you can pass any of these two values which you want to pass, and this value 5 will be assigned to roll number, 88.5 will be assigned to the percentage. Okay. Then we have copy constructor. So we have how you have to write the class name, then you have class name inside parenthesis and the ampersand as that is the reference to the object. So how to assign this? This s dot roll number will be assigned to the present roll number, s dot percentage will be assigned to percentage. So this is s is another object. So how to do this? You have to make this is previously created object, and now you are creating an s2 which is the new object, student new object, and you are just assigning it using an equality sign, and then you just display, you will see the results. So when parameterized constructor is defined, we must define the default constructor also, otherwise there will be an error. There may be an error when a call to default constructor is made. When we have multiple constructor which we have defined for a class, this is known as constructor overloading. So this is all about the constructor. Thank you so much and take care of yourself.